I mean, even with Diontae Johnson, right? I think, man, some of the reports around him and his potential new deal.
Yeah, people are bringing it up in the chat.
Yeah, they're talking about potential 5 for 70s and stuff like that. And I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to pay Diontae that type of money, man.
10's fine, but 15
right.
too much.
But that and for him though, now that he has a Pro Bowl, you think about, because the argument is when you think about what Stephon Diggs got in Minnesota before going to Buffalo. Prior to Buffalo, he didn't have any Pro Bowls. He was a good receiver, but he hadn't crossed over to that. And obviously he had a nice deal in terms of what he got paid up there. So they're saying that, man, that would kind of be his comp because Deontay's numbers are similar. But I don't know, man. That, to me, when you start talking that much, like that's wide receiver 1, that's like legit. We think you're the guy long-term money. And
Diggs is an interesting comparison.
He is.
Just because you're right. Diggs didn't live up to the hype with the Vikings fully. But, man, I would like to know what we thought about Diggs at that point versus Diontae right now.
Because all I know is when Buffalo traded for Diggs, it was hype. Because it's like, man, you're about to get him, and he's going to have a young up-and-coming quarterback that a lot of people were high on in terms of Josh Allen. And it was just like, man, we've seen this dude be talented. Was his productivity a little, dampened by Adam Thielen? Because Adam was really the one out there.
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, or that too. But it was like Adam was more so the one. Diggs was the high end too. And it was like, man, could he be that guy? But then he came in and obviously has taken off since then. I just don't know. Like, I don't know if I view Diontae like that.
He needs to have another season, at least 1,000 yards, though, because as much as I want to say he didn't live up to the hype with the Vikings, people were calling him like the next AB.
Right,
yeah, he still had a couple thousand yards, 900-yard seasons.
Then he had obviously the playoff catch where, the walk-off tutty. Yeah. Like he had moments he was really as well, man.
Deontay has to put together another season like he did this last year. And I don't see why he wouldn't. Why would he go backwards?
But you got to have minus the drops because the drops.
It's the drops.
Right, because we're not talking about his year being bad if he doesn't have those drops at the end of the season.
Definitely not.
Right, but when you have those drops, that is a foul taste. And that will put you in a bad situation. So.
And Diggs is better on the field, too. That's the other thing I'm wondering.
The more big play
Diggs
capability.
Feels like the better overall receiver. I just don't know. What were we thinking about Diggs back at that trade? I don't remember. I do think
Buffalo,
he was
the mindset
a little
of Buffalo was hype. Buffalo was hype.
But for a first-round pick, that's definitely worth it. That was a good trade.
Man, but that's what I'm saying. Like, would you give a first round if you're another team for Diontae right now?
I don't think you would.
I definitely wouldn't.
If you go up a first round and all of a sudden we have the option, the only dude I know right now in terms of the receivers for this draft is Jameson Williams.
Yeah.
If you told me we could get him, I'd be pretty pumped.
Yeah.
If you told me Diontae for Jameson Williams, actually, I don't know if I would do that. Yeah. I'd need to look at the other receivers just because him coming off the ACL.
But for me, it's the drop part because it's like, when you pay that type of money, that's better than AB's first deal here.
I think a first would be fair, though. I think that'd be fair for Diontae. I don't know if another team does it. I just think it'd be fair for both sides.
I personally think a first is jipping a little bit of whoever we getting it from. I think a second is fair.
For Diontae?
Yeah.
Oof.
But that's just how, because like I said, man, I don't want to give you $7 million. You can't. You got drop issues.
If we got a second, that's my thing.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's close. It's a fine line. Because you're right. If we get a first, maybe do you feel a little bit better? At least Deontay's proven, though. He's just got to fix the drops. You're right. Fix the drops.
Yeah. But we keep saying fix this 2 years in a row now. So it's like, at what point do you say, man, he's just going to always have drop issues? And because like T.O., for example, prime example, he's always had drop issues, but he put up crazy seasons. Right. So it's like, you will deal with the drops if the productivity looks like that. Are you willing to continue to deal with the drops when the productivity looks like how it's been for Diontae right now? Because that's the difference for me when I'm like, man, I don't feel his impact to the same extent as I was feeling at T.O.
Oh, definitely not.
You know what I mean?
Next play, it's like, oh, T.O. could just catch a touchdown.
Right, right. And that's the part where I'm like, when we start talking about shelling out big money, all that becomes into play. And it's nothing negative. It's just a product of what currently is. You know what I mean? You have to take it all together like that.
Yeah, I'm not thrilled about that contract. Wherever that's coming from, that he wants 5 years, $75 million. That's too much for Steelers organization right now. No way. $10 million's fine.
I'm cool with 10, but yeah, when you start talking at 7, I'm like, nah. Like or I would wait and make him have to go out here and go crazy again this season. Then we could talk that, but I'm not doing that right now.
Oh, I know why it's coming up because he's looking for the extension.
Absolutely, because you don't want to play on that last year of the deal. Yeah.
I see. Oh, that's too much.
Yeah.
We can't be doing that right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's crazy.
We
to
could
me,
tag them.
man. Yeah.
So I don't think the Steelers are in any rush
No,
to do that deal.
They're not, but they are. Because the Steeler way, they want to get you extended before you go into that last season. They don't want anybody that they want to marry and have a long-term relationship with. They don't want you playing on that last year of the deal. Even with Diontae, it probably won't happen anytime like right now. It'll happen right before training camp or right before the regular season hits.
Hopefully he's not
Like,
pulling
that's how it be.
People will be a lot more upset.
They definitely would be. But like, I think of like Tuitt when he got his first deal, right?
Okay.
Tuitt, it lasted literally. It was the Saturday going to the opener versus Cleveland. I mean, we're coming to the walkthrough and we're like, yo, where's Tuitt? He's late. And it's like, no, he's not late. He just got paid. Look at that smile on his face. You know what I mean? Like, that's the type of thing I could see with the Diontae, where it's like, you're there, or even Al Villanueva. He was another guy, right? OTAs, minicamp. Oh man, what's the Al situation? Then right before the season hits, boom, deal gets done. Vince Williams, another example of that. A guy like Diontae, they're not going to want to have him play on that last year of the deal. They're going to try to get that deal done, but it's not going to be at 70. Like that, he's going to have to come down. If that's where his, if his stance is 75, bro, the deal's not going to happen. Period. They're going to tell him, hey man, shake your hand. We're going to have the Joe Hayden situation. Ball out, good luck. Maybe you turn into Bud Dupree. Maybe it doesn't work out for you. You know what I mean? But I just don't see them giving him that money off of what he's currently done right now.
No,
and he's been improving. Like, that's the thing. We've seen the improvement, but the drop element, it just puts such a bad taste in. It's like at the worst times, it feels like, as well, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That Chiefs game was terrible.
Dude. And then when you hear him at times, it still is like, and I know this is what he's doing publicly. So obviously we know personally that's different. We can't attest to that. But at times it's almost like he still doesn't feel like he has drop issues. He's real defensive about it. And it's like, man.
I like how he was coming out on people on Twitter. He
was. Like I said, I get it. But it's like, dude, they're only saying that because of what you are doing.
Yeah, you are.
We can't say you have drop issues if you don't drop the ball. But when you drop the ball and we can point and say, hey, you just dropped it again. What you think people gonna say? You know what I mean? That was the part for me where I'm
critical points in games that you brought up.
So that was the part for me where I'm just like, dude, like, I get it, but publicly it just doesn't look good either, man. It's like, yo, have a little accountability. Like, we're not dropping these passes. These people criticizing you are dropping them. That is you. So, but yeah, I'm definitely not paying. I'm definitely not paying the 15, no, bro. Today's episode is brought to you by the amazing people at DraftKings Sportsbook. You know, the NFL's official sports betting partner. Yes, indeed. Safe, secure, and reliable. And ladies and gentlemen, for the big game this weekend, they have something awesome going on, ladies. Yes. I'm talking about a super duper 56-1 odds on the big game. You bet $5, you'll win up to $280 in free bets. All you have to do is pick either the team from LA and they win, or the team from Cincinnati and they win. It is that simple. But, Deke, you got to use the promo code. And the promo code is MOATS. It is that simple. MOATS. You use that promo code, you put that bet in there, and you win it on the big game. Poo-wee. Then after that, man, you listen to our advice and make you some more money.
I'm excited when you repurpose that money for the big game.
Absolutely. So that's how it's going to be. And shout out to DraftKings. But we also know this. When you're making money or attempting to make money, sometimes that quest can be a little tough. Sometimes you could get lost.
You're chasing the purple dragon.
Yeah, you're chasing it and you can get lost on that road. You feel me? Mm-hmm. All I would say is this. If you happen to know someone with a gambling problem, maybe they need crisis counseling or referral services, and they're located in New York, they should probably just call 877-8-HOPE-NEW York or HOPE-NY. Excuse me on that one. Once again, it's 877-8-HOPE-NY. All right? That's if you're located in New York. Now, Deke, if you're located anywhere else, you know what you need to do?
I'm not located in New York.
Well, you better call 1-800-GAMBLER. I say, you better call 1-800-GAMBLER.